Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Trap on the Boomer Bust channel, Bears podcast by a Bears fan. I'm your host Terry, and today we're talking about Roquan Smith finally signing. This is good news, Bears fans. Let's start there first and foremost. No matter which side you fell on, this is a good thing that he is signing, coming to an agreement with the team, and will be reporting to practice pretty soon here. Maybe, well, I say most likely not going to be in our next game, but could be in the game after that and getting some quality reps. So let's start there. That's good news. And again, we're all Bears fans. If we want the Bears to win, then we should be able to discuss peacefully. And that, unfortunately, has not been the case. But you know what? I would have to say that listening to a number of things, whether it be internet, radio, TV, people talking about the Bears situation, at least people in Chicago, they've all said that the experience for them has been people have been divided and kind of picking sides and yelling at each other. And a lot of people are just hoping that we can pretty much come back together as fans over this. And you know what? This isn't the only issue that would divide people. There's a lot of different things. People fan in their own way. But you know, I hope we continue, or at least if you listen, I hope you are working to always be, cordial with your fellow fans. What's the point in fighting? So anyway, talking about Roquan and the contract, the bigger issue here, of course, is about the precedents and about this fight for, fair treatment basically with NFL players. And so while that's the large concept, we have to say this, me, everybody included, so far, we have to say we don't know what the terms are. And so a lot of reports came out about what they were, even I wouldn't say reports, because also Nagy even at one point mentioned what they were stuck on, and then it changed and all that thing. But for the most part, we had a good handle on what the two sides were fighting about. And as of today, we don't have any real solid, anybody coming out saying they have solid belief that one side or the other budge, but you know, we can say we're happy he signed, but we don't know how that played out. And I don't know. I think a lot of fans, to be honest with you, don't care, and that they're going to be like, he's there now, whatever. They still might say stupid things like, I don't like Roquan, or I'm not excited for him anymore, or I think he's a diva, whatever, stupid stuff like that. But I do think not everybody, but I think a lot of people are just going to kind of move on. But for me, I think it's important to look at, what we learned. And even though we don't know which side did what, or to come to an agreement, but like thinking about what we learned from this whole situation. And number one, I've said the fan, it could get ugly. And I talked about that plenty of times before. And I mentioned it earlier. It's just something that I hope we could all kind of look at ourselves in the mirror. How did we handle this with ourselves, with other fans? Were we getting ugly? And really, kind of break that down if that was necessary. And then, also from that, at least what I learned, I would say, is that like, some fans will turn on you quick. Some of these Bears fans will turn on you quick, man. And not even the whole contract. Like, the thing, I think the larger concept that I saw with a lot of fans is that they feel like they're being personally disrespected, or that when a player doesn't want to play or something like that, not doesn't want to play, but is holding out, or the player does something, they act like they're doing it to that fan particularly, or to the fan base as a whole, which is absolutely ridiculous. Roquan, whether or not you believe he was fighting for something bigger than himself, the point was it was about the contract. It wasn't about fans. It wasn't like, F you fans, I'm not coming. I'm doing this because I want fans to be upset. That's silly. And so some fans, like I see it, listening and talking to them, they really turned on Roquan just because they felt like he was disrespecting them or disrespecting the fans. And it's interesting. It's interesting. I'll say that much. I definitely don't think that's accurate, but I think it's interesting that people took it that way. And so, that's just what it is. Another thing we learned is that, again, people talk about the NFLPA having to do this fight. that was, that CBA they signed is was a 10-year deal. So it's not going to be anytime soon for for the NFLPA to step in. And so we see now the agents are not playing about this. Agents are, or agency, or I should say, this one particular agency, but the big ones always go first. People will follow suit. And if the Bears did acquiesce, and they didn't give up everything, because I know that the agents came to the table like, we want all this guaranteed money protected, period. No, we can't do that. And so they kind of walk it back to only things on the field. And again, that's progress. If that's what they got, that's progress. That's better than none of your money is guaranteed. So, and again, it's not just the Bears. 4 of the teams did it. But if the agency was able to get the Bears, which is one of the charter franchises, and plus it's just another one of the 32 teams as you continue to chip away at the inequity with the owners versus the players. So if they were able to do that, then I think that, makes sense. And I think it's a big win. But I also would say get ready to see this some more. Not particularly with the Bears. I mean, it might be with the Bears. I don't know. But I think this ain't the last time we're going to see a similar situation with this, because the agency are having to do a fight that the NFLPA should be doing. And then on the other side, if the Bears were to, I won't say win, but if the agency kind of acquiesced and was like, okay, we'll just go ahead and give you we'll go ahead and sign a regular contract, then I would say that had to do more so with Roquan having to tell them, okay, enough's enough. Again, we don't know, and really we don't know that, but as an agency, it doesn't hurt them at all to continue to hold out. So I would believe that with everybody stand firm, that it would only be logical that Roquan had broke it off if they signed a contract with no, with no new language. But I believe the Schefter tweet said that they were finalizing some language. So we don't know. And some people are thinking the Bears are going to come out and talk about it. My guess is you'll never really know. I mean, you might, because Roquan might say it one day, or somebody close, or the agents, or somebody, but you'll never hear from the Bears, I don't think. And I think maybe part of it, honestly, if I was the Bears, I'd be like, okay, we would do this, but you have to sign like basically a confidentiality thing where you're not going to talk about, the situation. Basically, we'll let you win, but we're not going to talk about it. Your side's not going to talk about it. And that way fans just don't know, they move on. And then it seems like we both won. We got you in camp and you signed a contract you like. That's all the fans need to know. I would not be surprised if that's how it goes down. So, still a chance down the road, especially around the new contract, let's say 4 or 5 years, where Roquan and the agency might be like, yeah, in that rookie contract, we were able to get this. And so now we're looking for even more if he's got leverage, So I feel like we'll hear about it one day, but I don't think it'll be any time this season, at least not from the Bears or any, official people. So, but Roquan is signed. He's coming back. So, go to the comment section. If you're one of those people just so emotionally outraged that you said you hate Roquan, does this change anything now that he's on the field? I know people were swept up in all these thoughts of what if he doesn't play this season, or what if, this, that, and the other. Tell me what you think about that. If you were for Roquan, I'm sure you're happy that he's in. Again, we don't know the contract situation, but just whatever your thoughts on the situation is. And I say be careful. Last thing I say, be careful. Bears fans, I said this before though, whatever happens, whether it's an injury, whether he's great, whether he's bad, whether he starts, whether he doesn't, blah, blah, do not try to act like this is going to define his career. It's going to affect his rookie year one way or the other. Doesn't mean he can't be good. Like everyone's acting like, oh, this rookie season's over. He can't be good because he already missed too many days. That's silly. He could be hurt. He could, missed all this time and just still fight through it and be a really great player. So that's still an option. But again, if it's not that way, then don't try to fall, or I'm sorry, if it's not that way going forward, don't try to fall into that trap that this was the thing that defined it. Because the rookie year is going to be affected, but that's, it's not going to determine the course of his career. So anyway, go to the comment section, let me know what you think. Share it around, get the convo started, thumbs up, subscribe, and remember, stay up and bear down.